Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back, and as you may recall, about 4 weeks ago so, we painted this guy, the Nagenda leader, and I painted him with the diamondback pattern on his back and this really stiff armor. And he came out really good, and I'm really happy with how he turned out. Well, he was part of a 2-pack of Nagenda leaders from Reaper Bones. So the other one was this female, which I was originally going to paint the same as the male in that kind of brown rattlesnake pattern, rattlesnake back pattern, and that kind of thing. And then I decided that I'd try something different, and I looked up pictures of rattlesnakes. I came across some pictures of albino rattlesnakes, and this picture I think is the one I'm going to go with. See, it's got that almost white underbelly and then kind of pale yellow back to it. And I decided that being albino would make her like a shaman, which she kind of looked like a shaman anyway. She looked like a wizard. She's got the little spell casting thing she's doing there. So yeah, I got Apothecary White for the belly scales, and then I'm going to dry brush it with Praxeti White. And then for the back, I'm using Reaper Master Series Palomino Gold, and I can't tell what that is. It's something silver, but it's almost like a very, very light metallic white. Like, it's not as metallic as the Army Painter metallic white, but I think mixing those two together is going to give a real nice pale gold color. And then I'll probably dry brush it with a little bit of Tyrant Skull when I get it done. And then I've got the Reaper Master Series Breast Cancer Awareness Month Pink that I'm going to paint her eye in that color. Then Snakebite Leather for her belt and pouch here. I've got White and Tesseract Glow for this little spell thing that she's casting up here, this little fireball. Then I've got Orc Flesh for her robe here. So that's all going to be kind of a dark green. And then Basic Dirt and Nazdrag Yellow for the base. So the base will match the other guy, and I think that'll look really good. I think I'm also going to do the same, the color that I used on his armor, this armor trim, this Cursed Gold or whatever this was that I used on there. I'm going to use that for the hilt and pommel of her little dagger there too. I think that's going to look really good. So that's my plan for this gal. I'm going to go ahead and pause here and get started on her, and then we'll come back and see how she looks. All right, see you soon. All right, we've made some progress on our Nagenda Shaman female here. That looks like a really bright yellow, and it kind of is. Even mixing almost 5 or 6 to 1 with the white to the yellow, that yellow still came out really powerful. And then I decided it needed a little shading, so I gave it a thinned shade of Casadora Yellow and Lamian Medium, just to give some shading in between the scales there, definition to the scales. And that really made that yellow pop really bright. That will be toned down a little bit when I do the dry brushing with, I'm going to use Hexios Pale Sun, which this is kind of the yellow it was before the Casadora Yellow. So you can see how much paler that is. I'm going to give it a heavy dry brush of that, and then the light dry brush of the Tyrant Skull just to pick out the edges of the scales. So I think that'll really look good. I think that'll tone it down and give that nice pale color to it. The belly scales, I also decided weren't quite, I didn't want to go straight from the gray of the Apothecary White to the Praxeti White. If you put Apothecary White contrast paint on over Zenithal Priming, it really doesn't do anything except make it all uniformly gray. So it didn't really have the effect I wanted. It really doesn't work very well unless you put it on over white. So instead, I went ahead and did the Apothecary White, and then I gave it a heavy dry brush of Longbeard Gray over all the belly scales, and then I gave it another dry brush, a little lighter dry brush of the Praxetti white over that, and that's now you've got the white scales first of all, and it looks nice and white from the top, but it also has that nice gray shading underneath. And I went ahead and did the basilicanum gray on the dagger there, because that's all going to be gray. I'm going to do the tip of the scabbard and the throat of the scabbard, as well as the hilt and pommel of the sword, or excuse me, of the dagger in evil chrome. This is the same trim I used on his armor there, so that will kind of help tie it together. His armor was also done in basilicanum gray and then trimmed in evil chrome, and so having that same color scheme on her dagger will kind of help tie the two together as being the same species, even though she's albino and he's not. One thing I did want to kind of touch on, which I thought was kind of weird, is this need to make female non-human characters read as female even though they're not human, with no regard to the biology of that particular species. By which I mean this is a female reptile. Nagendas are reptiles. And yet she has wide hips, which are used for bearing children, and breasts, which are used for feeding children. There's no reason for a reptile to have childbearing hips or breasts if they lay eggs. This is only for mammals. That's why they're called mammals, because they have breasts. Mammary glands. There's no reason for a reptile to have these. And for that, we're just going to go ahead and refer to that as a reptile dysfunction. I will see myself out. Thank you. Alright, I'm back, and I've got the Hexios Pale Sun dry brushed onto the scales, and I've also got the dagger painted. The dagger, I did the whole hilt in the evil chrome because I looked up Middle Eastern knives, which that kind of is. It's a type of knife called a jambaya, and they generally had entirely metal hilts, either steel or brass, or sometimes gold plated. So because the entire hilt was metal, I went ahead and painted it as such on this one. And I still think it looks really good, especially with that Mechanica Standard Gray, basilicanum gray that I did on the scabbard. It's almost black, and it looks really nice and dark on there. And I painted the white, so that's going to be the Tesseract Glow once that goes. I'm still waiting on the scales to dry because there's a little spot, I don't know if you can see that down inside the, down in there, that for some reason is not taking paint and not cooperating with me at all. So I still need to do Hexios Pale Sun on the backside and in there a little bit. And you can see that's still wet down in there. It's not cooperating with me. But I need to do a little more Hexios Pale Sun and the Screaming Skull, or excuse me, Tyrant Skull dry brush to really, because that yellow is still a little bit much. But I did paint the eye. I don't know if you can see that up close, but the eyes are pink. I got both of them. It doesn't stand out very much, but then again, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be kind of blending in with the whole thing. So yeah, we'll go ahead and let that finish drying, and then we'll do the Tyrant Skull over the whole thing, and then do the Tesseract Glow on the orb here. And then we'll come back and see how she looks. Really, it's just that, the basing, the robe, and the belt. The robe, like I said, is going to be orc flesh green, and the belt is going to be, I got out the wraith bone to base it, because there's a couple of places where it went over the other color. Wraith bone, and then, excuse me, I'm drawing a complete blank. Snakebite leather for the belt and the pouch there. So yeah, I think the green and the brown is going to look really good on that pale yellow and white of the belly. I think the green and brown are going to help that belly scale look like it's supposed to be white and not just that I didn't paint it. So I think that'll help. So yeah, it's just coming along pretty nicely, and so we're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and finish dry brushing the body scales. All right, see you soon. Alright, we're back, and I've got both the Hexios Pale Sun and the Tyrant Skull dry brushed on the scales, and as you can see, that makes her a lot more pale, a lot more looking like an albino snake, and I really like how that turned out. So the next step is I'm going to go over her robe with the Wraithbone. I'm going to go over the robe and the belt, but for two different reasons. I really want, there's a lot of you can see there's a lot of where the skin kind of slopped over the edges of the robe. Got a lot of it there, a lot down in here, that kind of thing. And I want to clean all that up before I put the green of the robe on there, and same with the brown of the belt. Although I think I'm probably going to go over the belt with Wraithbone again after I do the robe, because I know there's going to be places like right in here where the robe green gets on the belt and the pouch. But for right now, I'm going to go around and do that whole thing with the Wraithbone, and then we'll come back and take a look at it after I did the belt. The Tesseract glow on the Fireball, there we go. I was going to say, when it doesn't focus in on it, I guess you need a darker background, but you can see all the little striations in that flame, and it looks really cool. And then you take your hand away from it and it just glows. It just washes out, which is kind of weird. But I do kind of dig it. So that's where we're at right now. I knew this lady was going to be a quick paint, but it's mostly contrast and dry brushing. So yeah, I'm going to go do the Wraithbone and the robe, and then we'll come back and do the Wraithbone and the leather, and see. And then we'll base her up and finish her up. All right, see you soon. Bye. All right, we're back, and the contrast paints are still wet on this gal, so it's got a little ways to go yet. But I got the leather and I got her robes done, and I'm kind of liking how it comes out, but I'm not entirely happy with the robes. It seems kind of plain. And then I realized while I was painting it yesterday that, see that, the way she's got the hood up over and it comes off her shoulder like that, kind of looks like a cobra. And I thought, I know she's a rattlesnake, she's got a little rattle right there, but what if I painted that eyelet pattern on the back of the thing? Because she's got pretty broad shoulders, and the shoulder part is all nice and flat. So I think I could probably do a really nice little cobra pattern on there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do it yet. I haven't quite made up my mind on that. I think I'm probably going to do it in metallic. So I'm probably going to do a background in like black or something like that, and then do metallic red for the design, or maybe do a background of yellow or orange and do metallic red. I don't know quite how I'm going to do this yet. I kind of thought about doing red as the background, and then doing Avalon Sunset as the base color, and then old gold over the top of that, so it's kind of a shiny gold eyelet pattern. I think that'll look really nice with both the red and as a contrast to the green. Or maybe I'll just do like no background and just do a metallic red over the thing. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a surprise. So I'm going to go figure that out, and then I'll come back and paint it on there. So we'll see. See you soon. Bye. Alright, Brush Monkey. So after much consultation and research and thought and agonizing over it, the winner was Metallic Green and Avalon Sunset for the Cobra design on the back. I think it looks really good. It's a nice, I was a little hesitant about the metallic green against the dark green, but the metallic green is really a bright green, and it kind of leaves that nice satiny patch color to it. I think that looks really nice. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And the colors work well with the albino skin tone. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and call that done. There's one more thing I want to do to the skin, and then I'm going to do the base. So I'm going to go do that to the skin, and then I'll be right back. Okay? See you soon. Alright, so the thing I had to do with the skin, which I have to admit does look better, and it's quite a bit more pronounced on the camera than it is in real life, is I was told the skin was a little bland, like it should have had some kind of patterning or something on it. So I decided, since he is a rattlesnake, I'm going to go ahead and do the diamondback pattern on there, kind of similar to how I did this guy, but not like fill it in with a different color or anything. I took the Reaper Master Series Palomino Gold, which is the base color that I was using for the skin before I added all the white, and before I dry brushed it and everything. So that's just a base gold, and then I did the diamond pattern in that. And I have to admit, that does look better. And I added some stripes to her arms to kind of tie it in together too. So yeah, she's looking pretty good. I think I might add a little bit of a tan color to that rattle, but for the most part, well, maybe I'll just do the, you know what, Nasdrag Yellow is kind of a tan color. I'll go ahead and do it in that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and base it, and then the next time you see this young lady, she'll be completely done. All right, so see you soon. Bye. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen, our finished female Nagenda leader, or Nagenda Shaman. I think she turned out really well. The little cobra thing on her back is a little easier to see in person than it is on the camera. It just kind of looks like a heart shape on the camera. But it did turn out really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to call her done and wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, go ahead and click subscribe. It's like over here somewhere, right there. Those will both help with my YouTube numbers and bring me that much closer to monetizing this channel and being able to do what I love to do full time. If you want to get your hands on some of the miniatures I've painted here, visit our Instagram and Tumblr pages. I post pictures of both of those on a regular basis. I post videos on TikTok on a regular basis, mostly to direct traffic here to the YouTube channel, but you know, there's some other stuff there that's kind of cool. So go check that out. And if you want to show some love for your favorite monkey-based miniature painter, go check out our merch store at storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios to get our t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, can cozies, aprons, face masks. We've got all kinds of stuff there in a bunch of different colors, including tie-dye. We've got some tie-dye shirts on there if you want to check that out. So go check that out. Go check us out on our other social medias and follow us on Twitter for updates on the channel as well. And thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.